Hello, I'm Andrea from the Creative Dream Incubator, and today I'm going to talk about time management for creative dreamers, and how actually time management isn't the problem. I get a lot of emails and questions from people talking about time management, about how they have a lot going on in their lives. You have jobs, you have families, you have people who need you, you have responsibilities, then you have all the self-care stuff that you want to be doing, then you have your creative projects, and you have dreams, new things that you want to be working on, and it's really hard to figure out how to make time for it. And I totally get that. It's not easy for anyone to make space in their lives for more of what they want. Right, so if you're struggling with this, just know that this is just a part of it. This is a part of being a dreamer, being a person with vision, is having to kind of be in the mess or the struggle of figuring out how to make it all work on a practical level. So the first thing I want to say about time management is that time management is not the problem. Too often we assume the problem is time management because it seems like there isn't enough time. So then we spend a bunch of time figuring out time management systems or planning systems, thinking that there's some kind of system out there that's going to tell us how to manage our time in a way that then we'll have time for everything. And that's just not true. If you think about what time is, like the idea of managing time is kind of ridiculous because all we ever have is this present moment. Right? So it's not like you're ever going to have more or less time. You have now. And you have the ability to structure and organize your time. But the thing that makes it hard to structure and organize time in such a way that you can have more of what you want in your life isn't that you don't know how to manage time properly. The thing that makes it hard is about your inner relationship with power, about boundaries, about sovereignty, about trusting yourself. Because if you really think about how to make more time for your dreams, it actually means making less time for something else. So it's more about that what are you willing to give up? Where are you willing to say no to other people? What other projects will you say no to in order to say yes to this thing? That kind of stuff can be really scary to look at, especially since most people watching this are women, and women, we're kind of taught from the moment that we're born that we're supposed to do things for other people, and we're supposed to be taking care of everyone around us. And so, of course, you don't have the energy to take care of your dreams if you're using all of it to take care of everyone else. So, time management is really energy management. So, you are made of energy. Everything is made of energy. There's infinite energy, right? There isn't an energy shortage problem, but you can feel like you don't have enough energy to do things. That's a really common thing. And you can feel like you're having a problem managing your energy. And that, again, comes down to boundaries, sovereignty, being really clear on what it is that you want to give your energy to and what you don't want to be giving your energy to. So if you're giving a lot of energy to something because you think you have to, and then you don't have any energy left for your dreams, then the issue isn't to get a better time management system. The issue is to figure out how to preserve some of your energy for the things that matter to you, how to give less to the things you don't want, how to generate more. I mean, in theory, there is no more because you're already infinite energy, but there are things that make you feel nourished and filled up, and there are things that make you feel depleted. So, for a long time when I was working full time, plus I was doing my creativity workshops and leading like meditation circles and that kind of thing, and taking care of a huge garden that I had in my house and stuff. I had this idea that something magical outside of me was going to have to change before I could start to have more of the life that I wanted to be living. So I didn't see the path from working full time to supporting myself full time with my creative and spiritual work. I wasn't seeing how the path is really about my internal realignment with my priorities and my values, and putting my energy towards the things that are really important to me. And it's a long, for me, it was a long, slow process of doing that and rewiring where my energy flows, that slowly over time helped me make that change. I think we all want there to be a more exciting or magical or amazing answer to this question, that there's something you can do where suddenly you're going to have time for the things you want to be doing. That's not what it is. It's really about taking responsibility for how you're managing your energy. So, what do you need to say no to in order to say yes to your dreams? Or what else do you need to say yes to in order to say yes to your dreams? When I was in the part where I was working full time and getting ready to leave, one of the things I was doing was putting more time into self-care practices that felt energizing, so that I could be happier, because when I'm happier, I have more energy to do things. So part of that, even though it seems counterintuitive, was to get up a little earlier and go to the river in the mornings and sit by the river, drink my coffee, meditate, just appreciate the trees and the sky and all of the beautiful things happening. And just be there and just let myself feel filled up and happy. And I would have my journal, I would do a little bit of writing. And then I would go to work. And I would go to work feeling deliberately filled up, which helped me not be so depleted by the end of the day. So that by the end of the day, then I could get to work on my business stuff. And it did mean making a whole bunch of sacrifices and not doing other things that I wanted to do, and maybe doing less play for a little while. And there is, people talk about the law of attraction all the time, and there's another spiritual law that works with that, which is the law of sacrifice, to have a little bit more about in the Creative Dream Circle, but it's really just about the practicalities of it. I mean, to have one thing, you often do have to give up something else. So I made this temporary decision to give up some of the fun or social kinds of things that I was doing in order to make more space for my dreams, in order to bring myself to a place where I have so much more just open space, open time in my life where I can do fun things now. I don't believe we ever have to give up things that are important to us forever, but sometimes temporary sacrifices do need to be made in order to really make something happen. So you have to think about all of this, right? It's really so much more complicated than time management, than what you think of as having some kind of schedule and sticking to it. Because what is it that stops you from making time for your dreams now? Right, so if you're a Creative Dream Circle member of the class, the Superpower Journal or Superhero Journal, it's about looking at your inner relationship with power. That is the kind of work that really helps, right? Because when you're more empowered and when you have a strong connection to your inner power, you see things differently, and you can see where you're leaking your energy in the form of time, or just making commitments to things that aren't in alignment with where you really want to be. Right, so you can see all that more clearly. You can pull your power back, and then you can choose where you're going to direct your energy. Then you're doing energy management, and then time management really works itself out. Other tools for time management in the Creative Dream Circle are in the Creative Genius Mojo Dojo, the Creative Genius planning sessions. That's kind of the way that I use time management, but it's working with qualities. It's working with your inner wisdom and intuition and your inner creativity, and trying to get all of that aligned with your purpose, with your soul, with your heart, with your creativity, and then creating a vision for what you want to be doing in the short term. So that's how I do approach time management on a week by week basis. Also, I do that sort of in larger chunks, like looking at what I want to be doing in the next 3 to 6 months, and then just like what's important for this week. It's to me, I know sometimes people get frustrated with how I always want to bring it back to going within, listening to your intuition, being clear on what qualities you need to be calling in right now. Because when you're working on the level of qualities, you're working on a much deeper level. You're accessing more of your power. You're accessing also just the synchronicity and support of the universe, which can come along when you're working on deeper levels, which makes things easier on the surface. Right? So if you take the time to do that inner work, then the outer work, figuring out how to schedule yourself, becomes so much easier and so much clearer. So I hope that's helpful. Again, if you're in the Creative Dream Circle, I want to recommend the Superpower or Superhero Journal class. It's in the classroom. The Creative Genius Mojo Dojo, which has the Creative Genius Planning session. All right, and feel free to start new threads to talk about this too. A lot of working through the issues of time management. This is a part of working through the process of growing into this version of you who's more connected to your purpose and your authenticity and your creativity. This is the part of you who can make your dreams happen. So this is an important part of it, and we want to support each other in the process of figuring this stuff